in today's video, I would like to talk about self-trust and alignment and also the pain of letting go. Because whenever you do align, you will always have to let go of something or someone. And this is something that I feel like no one really talks about. Alignment sounds glamorous and nice, but actually, walking down the path of true alignment is also painful. And I want to be honest with you and truthful. However, at the same time, I also have to say that if you do choose a true alignment with your own inner being, then it is also the most rewarding. But it does take some time to get to the other side. And also, I want to say is that if you stay where you are and you do feel dissatisfied, unfulfilled, and not happy with your life, that is a sign of disalignment. And you have to kind of find your own path and way to figure out something or like a way to get more in alignment. And this is really important because if you don't, you will stay stuck. You will also stay dissatisfied and unfulfilled, and nothing is going to change if you don't change something for yourself. So it's never going to be someone else or something else. So if you keep waiting and you keep thinking, I will wait a bit longer to see if something will change, then you are probably going to wait for a long time. And that pain is going to be worse than choosing the path of alignment, because like there's nothing greater than feeling dissatisfied with your life and letting time pass. And then eventually you will come to the end of this life and you wish you would have. So I can guarantee you, yes, choosing alignment is great, but it also comes with pain. And you have to be willing to trust, have that self-trust and have that certainty that you trust that inner voice inside you. And only you know what this will be. No one can tell, I can't tell you. I could guide you towards that, but I can't tell you what is true for you. Only you know that. And I tell you this, this is why I wanted to take this video, because I have taken this route a couple of times in my life, and where I am today, I can understand why I had to take different journeys in my life. And also, I can tell you that I'm sitting here sometimes and think, I can't believe I did that, right? Because the mind wants to understand it logically. So you have the mind that where you keep thinking, you have your thoughts, you have the pros, you have the cons, and you try to find solutions in a logical way, which makes sense. And then you also have your heart, and your heart is guiding you. Your heart, your soul, your inner being is your inner truth. And you know what excites you. Only you know what makes you sad, what frustrates you. So I would say that your heart is a really great compass to figure out what is right for you and what isn't. And this is something where I can just really reassure you, and also would like to encourage you to get still, like silent your mind. It's not everything in the mind. Yes, a lot of people say, everything is in the mind, and I get that. It's true. But also a lot of the things are in your heart, and you have to try and differentiate between the two, because your heart is guiding you to what you truly want in life. So the part where you can start right now to reflect for yourself, where are you not currently aligned right now is where you are feeling comfortable, but, and perhaps also safe, but you are right now in a place where you also feel dissatisfied. And maybe you have a bit of frustration going on, and maybe you feel like annoyed with something, and that over a longer period of time. Like every time the situation comes up again, and you are just not really feeling good about the situation. It's not like a one off, it's like a repetitive pattern that comes up in your life, and nothing is changing. And you just feel like not truly yourself. You feel annoyed, frustrated, and this is definitely a huge sign for not feeling aligned. And trust me, nothing external is going to change on its own. You have to take the lead and change something about it. And it doesn't have to be big steps, generally speaking. Maybe it is about communication. Like if it's something in your relationship, and again, now I'm going into relationship. I was asked last week, hey, are you a relationship coach now? And I'm like, no, definitely not. And I never want to be a relationship coach. However, I am here to guide you to trust yourself, to find certainty, and to get in alignment with yourself. And having said that, relationships are oftentimes a great mirror and a reflection of your life, and where you can figure out, are you actually aligned? Are you actually trusting yourself? Do you know who you are and what you want? Because your partner will always reflect that back to you. And this is why I talk a lot about relationships, but I'm not here to give you any advice for your relationship, or this is not what I want to do, and this is not what I'm here for. I'm here for you to find your own truth, to walk that path of inner peace, because I believe this is what we are here for at the end of the day, to become our greatest version of ourselves. Alignment, yes, it's important, but it comes with pain, and it comes also with a reward. And this has been so present with me in the last couple of weeks and months that, especially now this past weekend, I was at the place where I have lived in the last 5 to 6 years. And it's a place that I've loved. And sometimes you have to let go of things that you love. And that doesn't mean that this is now the wrong decision. It doesn't mean that you are now on the wrong path. And yes, it sounds very counterproductive, but it, yeah, you will know. You will know when you get to that point. It's something, it's like an internal feeling, like an internal voice, where you know which is the right path and what is the right thing for you to do. And this is why it's also so important to separate yourself from your ego. You have the ego and you have the heart. And if you listen to the ego, then you will follow something where you keep driving your nice car. You keep following that job title. You keep following what society does and what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. And yes, I do want to add to that and say also, never do anything that would harm a different person. But if you are able to listen to your inner voice and you follow that steps, knowing that you are doing the right thing with integrity, then definitely do not let anyone or anything influence you from the external world, and stop letting your ego get in the way. You have no idea, like, what I went through in the past when I left my ex-marriage. I had nothing. I didn't have a job at the time. I didn't have a house. And I lived my dream life. I went on holidays. I had everything. And from the outside world, people were probably thinking, what is she doing? Why is she leaving him? But I wasn't happy. And when you are not happy, when you have this internal, this inner voice that tells you there's more to it, and you don't feel truly aligned, or something is getting in, like something like there's like, it's very, very difficult to explain, but you will know, because when you have that feeling inside you, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is the first step to really become aware of that. And then, as I say, it should never take effort to get in alignment, but you should think what that looks like for you, for the next step to get more aligned with who you are, with who you want to be. Because if the version of you right now is not anywhere near to who you want to be, or what you want in life, then you have to figure out the next step that brings you closer to that. And maybe this is going back now to relationships. Maybe it is talking to your partner about things, how you feel. Like, why to keep it inside if you are in a relationship, in a partnership? Speak to him about it. Or to her, if you are a male now watching this. Then maybe it's a boundary that you should set for yourself. Think about it. What boundaries could you take? Maybe it is leaving a toxic environment, a toxic relationship, something that is not supportive for you. And then I would say observe, like give it some time. Observe how it develops. And if after a couple of weeks you are still in the same situation, there you got your answer. But you have to figure things out for yourself, and it's never going to be the other person. It's also never going to be someone else's fault where you are right now, what you are. You haven't achieved that. It's not your partner's fault. It's your fault. Maybe you can't be in that type of energy that you need in order to achieve what you want to achieve, because sometimes the energy around you, your environment, isn't the most ideal for you to achieve what you want to achieve. So you are not in alignment. It's just one example. There are many different examples, but only you know that. And I just want to share this with you. Try and differentiate and get out of your head, get into your heart, get into your body. And you can do this in so many different ways, but you have to still your mind. And you can do that by connecting with nature, going for a walk, outside, ideally close to nature, like by the sea or in the forest. You could also pray. You could do breath work. You could meditate. There are so many different ways for you to get still and get out of your head. And when you do, then you will start to connect to that. And you will start to get ideas or new thoughts that will help you to get more in alignment. And whilst I'm talking about this, when maybe you are at that step right now where you are feeling like, or you know what to do, but you are feeling like you're fearing walking down that path because you don't know what to expect and you don't know if it's going to work out. And yes, I know that feeling. Back then I haven't had a job. I haven't had a house. Last year, also things happened where I had to make a decision for myself, where I was like, I don't have a house. I don't know how I'm going to afford things. I don't know how things will work out for me. And I kid you not, the moment I made the decision to get in alignment with my truth, everything worked out to the last second. I can't believe it until today. Like, things have miraculously worked out for me because I chose to trust. I chose to trust myself. And I'm telling you, this was the hardest, this is the hardest thing. And especially if you, in my case, I didn't separate because I didn't love my partner anymore. I didn't separate because something happened. Nothing happened. I chose alignment for myself. I chose myself. And yes, I also felt guilty for that. I felt guilty for choosing myself. And I have to say that yet it was the best thing that I could have done for myself. And I see that now. But if you don't see that before, I understand that walking this path is so difficult. And I don't mean like, this was my path. My path doesn't have to look like yours, where you now have to separate, or like it can be anything, you know. I just don't want to also make people think, oh, now you have to break up, or like, no, it's not about that. Maybe you can have a beautiful communication with your partner, and you both get in alignment where you meet in the middle, and you can build a beautiful life together. But you have to take that step, take that boundary. Think about what works for you and communicate that. And then you move forward from there. So then when you do choose that path and you are in the middle of it, I also want to say that you will have doubts. You will have questions where you think, why am I doing this? Honestly, I have had, it's still today sometimes I'm thinking, I can't believe I did that. But it was not because I decided logically with my mind. Otherwise, I would have never done it. Never. Honestly. But I allowed my heart to lead. And I can't not do it. Like, it's in my nature. And maybe this is why I'm here to speak about this, because I am blessed to have the courage. And even, I'm telling you, it's not easy for me either to do this. But I want to encourage you because I want you to feel fulfilled. I want you to live your truth. I want you to feel free and to feel at peace. And only you know what this is. But I also want to speak about the pain that it comes with because when you choose this, there will always be something or someone, as I said before, that you have to let go of. You cannot create a new reality for yourself without letting something or someone go. Unfortunately, this is the truth. And I want you to be aware of that. But again, I'm saying, when you decide to stay where you are and you are stuck with this is also a pain. So there will always be pain. But you have to choose, do you want the long-term pain? Or do you want maybe a short-term pain, but then you have the reward of peace and something more aligned with what you truly want and who you truly are, that supports who you truly are. And that makes the difference. And I want to add to that, last but not least, if you decide to stay where you are, and I'm not saying this because for me, I don't care if you stay where you are at the end of the day. This is your life. I live my life. I choose for myself. But I do want to say is that if you stay where you are and you stay stuck, the same lesson will keep repeating itself until you choose differently. And so the same pain will repeat itself. And it makes sense, right? If you keep finding yourself with the same issues, of course they won't dissolve overnight. or just on its own, without talking about it, without setting boundaries, without leaving something toxic. So you have to decide that for yourself, what you want, who do you want to be, get clear on that, and then take the steps that you have to take in order to get you where you want to be. And yes, I think this is all I wanted to speak about today, because it was so present for me, especially the last weekend, where I had to let go of the place where I love being at. I love the people that I spend time with. And it's really, really hard. And I just want you to know that if you do go through this right now, or you decide to maybe take that mini step of choosing yourself a bit more, there will be definitely times where you will doubt yourself and where you will wonder, am I doing the right thing? But all I can say is try and stay in your center. Try and ground yourself. Try to connect to God. If you don't believe in God, then try and connect to your inner being, to your heart. It's all connected anyway, whatever you want to call it. But this is where your truth lives, and only you know that. Only you know what it is. Deep down, you know it already. You might not be aware of it because you keep distracting yourself with things, but you do know. Looking back at my own life, I knew, but I wasn't brave enough, and I was scared to walk that path. And yet I did it. So that's it. This is all I wanted to share. If you have questions, if you want to share something, I'm always happy to hear from you. You can send me a message on Instagram or via email. I think my email is at the bottom of it. And yeah, I hope this was useful to you. That's it. I will leave you with this. If you have any questions, as I said, leave them either in the comments or send me a message. And until the next video.